Hi, Haley.
Oh, great to be back once again.
I know we're on our 20th episode though, so this has got to be our best yet.
All right, let's do it.
I think we can do it. So before we get started, we have to ask a question. So, what has been your favorite thing you've been watching on TV lately?
Well, I would say Severance is probably the favorite thing I've been watching right now, but there's a lot of good stuff out right now. What have you been watching?
White Lotus, which I know you and I have
It's a good
chatted quite
one.
a bit
Yeah,
about. So far so good. It's not as good as season 2 yet though, so I'm waiting.
yeah. Wish they didn't change the theme song.
I know. I feel better about that one.
Yeah.
We'll have to make that the theme song maybe of Hi Haley.
Okay, yeah, we can do
There's an
that. There
idea.
might be some copyright issues, but we could try.
I know. We'll call them. All right. So today we're going to get back into Power Pages, specifically talking about Power Pages management. So, like an overview of it and what all you can do in there. There's not a lot out there on there. So, let me go ahead and share my screen here and we'll get into it. All right. So, we're back to TV show ratings. You probably remember this from a while back. Matt made TV show ratings when we were demoing Power Apps and Power Pages. And then he made it this ugly purple and yellow color, but we're just going to go along with it. So today specifically, I want to talk about the column headers. So here we have two columns that we actually added in from other tables. So we use the related to option to add these in here, but the labels aren't that great. So I want to show you how you can change these within Power Pages management. So I'm going to go back over here to my view so you can see where you can add these in case you're unfamiliar. So if you go to new table column, don't do that. So you can go to related. And then here you have all of your tables. So for me specifically, I went to TV show and then I added genre and streaming service. But of course, it shows me my table name here in the parentheses. So let's change that. So if you go to Power Pages, you
So
see
you
the
can't
three.
change it on that form.
You cannot change it on this form, unfortunately. But if you go to Power Pages here and you click more items, you have this option for Power Pages management. And if you haven't been there yet, you've really missed out because there's a lot in here. So we'll talk about that here in a second, but I want to call out list. So here's where all your lists from your Power Pages site will go. And you can see here I have active TV show ratings. So if I go into this guy, there's all sorts of good stuff. This is just telling me which view I'm using. But if you go over to the right under options, scroll down a little bit and you'll see grid configuration. Now within here, you can add buttons to your list. Maybe you want a few more than what it gives you there on the Power Pages Design Studio. But you can also go here to override column attributes. If I click this plus button, I can see here my columns that are in my view. And specifically, I want to change genre and streaming service. So I selected genre and I'm just going to call it genre instead of it saying genre and TV show. And then the same goes here for streaming service. I'm going to click save. And then I always click refresh. I don't think it's necessary, but I do it just to be safe. And then I'm going to head back over to my design studio and click sync. All right, I think that was the quickest sync that this thing has ever done. If I go back over to the home tab, I'm going to go and click refresh here. So you can see here after we're done refreshing, genre and streaming service no longer have TV show in parentheses. I would like to also say that you can do this for any of these columns, even the ones that you didn't pull from the related to. All right, so I'm going to go back to my Power Pages management. And maybe we walk through just high level overview, Matt.
Yeah, we can do that. So what we're looking at here, the Power Pages management, is essentially kind of the model-driven app view of Power Pages, our Power Pages Studio. So a lot of the things that you can do, well, actually everything you can do in the Design Studio, you can do in here. But in the Power Pages management app that we're looking at, there's a lot more functionality that hasn't been yet bubbled up to the Design Studio. Now, I expect things to get added as time goes on to that Design Studio, but there are some things like adding the favicon, changing some attributes of lists, adding new images that you want to pull into actual pages, um, some advanced configuration on things like multi-step forms. You can do so on the left there. You'll see we've got options for forms, multi-step forms. Again, a lot of these things you can do in the design studio, but whenever you're doing something like really advanced, that's kind of outside the normal flow of what Microsoft kind of expects you to do, you'll probably be able to find that setting in the advanced management here. So what you can also do in a lot of places is add custom JavaScript, add custom HTML in a little kind of more user-friendly way than opening up Visual Studio Code to do it. So I guess kind of the moral of the story of what the advanced management here is that if you ever can't find out how to do something or can't figure out how to do something in the design studio, you're probably able to do it here from the advanced management application. So to get to there in the design studio in a lot of places, so yep. So just click on the three dots and you'll see there's that Power Pages Management button. That'll actually pull up the app. But in some cases as well, if you were to like highlight on a particular form, you may see an option to open up advanced management, and that will basically pull you up into the context of whatever you clicked on. So you don't have to kind of hunt and peck around in the advanced management app.
I think the number of times you and I have been stuck on something that it's just been a simple go into Power Pages Management is crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's right there. Which, speaking of, you talked about favicon or favicon? Like,
I don't know. They're probably both wrong.
Yeah, we'll go with it. So if you're ever curious how to change that, so if you don't know what we're talking about, it's this little symbol at the top when you're on any web page. So ours here just has...
and this is one of those things that you think you'd be able to do in the design studio, but you really can't. So you have to go to the advanced management.
So it's this little guy. And so if you go into web files, you're going to see basically any web resource you've uploaded. But this is also where you can add a favicon, and you can see we've added one here. And so when you're doing this on your own Power Pages site, feel free to just copy what we've done here in the name and the partial URL, changing the website and parent page to be your own. From there, just put a publishing state of published, and then your file content, just go ahead and upload it. Give it a good save, and then a few seconds later, it should refresh after you click sync, and then you'll see it reflected.
Yeah, one of the things I want to point out back on that page is a lot of the articles that are still out there uses kind of the old format. They used to have you upload it as a note. So it has changed in a recent I don't know how recent it is, but in an update in the last year or so, that you can now just directly update that file content instead of going through the note thing. So if you are Googling this and see it, there are kind of two different ways that it used to happen, but the most up-to-date one is now using that file content field.
Good call out. This is way easier too than a note. All right. And then also I'll point out, if you're not sure how to make one of these, I'm going to add the link in the description of this video so you can just go directly to it and upload your logo or even choose an emoji like we did. Pretty easy. All right, Matt, I appreciate you joining Hi Haylee again. I think this was a good episode.
Yeah, great to be back.
Awesome. Well, we'll see you next time.
All right.